Welcome back to the postgame show on this Tuesday afternoon. Jay Phillips, Elijah Campbell with you. Cale Wilson hanging out with us here today. Derek Scott, the voice of the Gamecocks, will join us coming up at 4:30. We'll have more sound from Coach Kingston. Bill Gunner and I getting a chance to speak with Coach a little bit earlier today for our cocktail hour show on Gamecocks Plus. Check it out. Bill was very excited to get to talk about his boat for a minute.
Glad he had that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's good. Give him a platform.
Yeah. Yeah. Because how many minutes per day does Bill devote to the boat on the early game? Do we have that documented?
Ooh, I don't know. But we need to start keeping track, though. Did they give him a segment?
I don't know.
Bill's boat segment. Or just record a segment from Bill's boat.
Could Preston
and then just play it in the show the next day.
Could Preston hit Bill every time he mentioned the boat? Would that be wrong?
I think we might get the YouTube viewership up a little bit. I think a lot of people would start tuning in. People would learn the Game TV YouTube handle real quick if we started inciting violence on the stream.
I am not attempting to incite violence.
We're going to give him a pie to the face. People love a good pieing.
Yeah, well, that's like the Dan Patrick thing now. Pie to the face bets.
Oh, is that what they do now?
Yeah, they have pie to the face bets.
I need to start listening again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Love Dan.
All right, so Clemson baseball coach Erik Bakich, great coach, had Michigan in a title series a couple of years ago against Vanderbilt. Been down there up there a couple of years now. Clemson's hosting this weekend. They've got Vandy and Coastal and I forget that they're the fourth team. Hang on. May as well get this right.
Coastal being the three.
High Point. High Point is the four. But Clemson struggled of late while hosting regionals. One of the reasons that maybe Monty Lee is no longer employed as Clemson's head baseball coach because Clemson hosted a bunch and they did not advance. I guess, is that enough of a setup to kind of get where this quote takes us?
Because the question did involve the angst around maybe not getting out of a regional since 2010, I believe it was.
A long time.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, because Carolina and Clemson played each other in Omaha in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a while. And then Clemson came here in 2012.
I think the song It's Been a While by Stained was written about this streak.
So that was the question.
Yes.
And here's what Erik had to say.
Yeah, everyone wants to talk about that, and the people who bring that up over and over and over and over and over again, those are called Gamecocks. You know, those aren't Clemson fans. That's South Carolina's fan base that love to troll. And that's fine, and we have to go out and do it. But, you know, if you're going to start looking in history books, then go back to the mid-'90s and the early 2000s in the Coach Leggett heyday. Go back to Coach Wilhelm's days. This is a blue blood program with plenty of rich history and tradition. And, you know, if Clemson baseball truly is back, then we've got to go out and earn it on the field.
Did you say the BB word?
Yeah. I got to be honest with you, though.
What's a team that's never won a title?
No, they haven't.
The BB word?
They're good, but they're And I was going to say I don't know. I'm literally trying to like rack my brain and think of a conversation I have had with a South Carolina baseball fan who has brought up to me any time recently enough about Clemson struggling to get out of the regionals.
I haven't even seen it online. But I learned about it today looking at this clip.
I have heard it from Clemson fans. So I got to push back on Coach Bakich on that one just a little bit.
There's a lot of things to push back on that.
Yeah. And look, is the head coach of a program going to call his own program a blue blood program? I don't know what he uses to define that.
I mean, it's kind of like Lane Kiffin saying Ole Miss is a blue blood program.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ole Miss, right? Like, don't they claim one of those like fourth-rate national titles from some season back when there was like
before the sport desegregated
something?
Yeah.
Yes, you know, I hate to say it.
Probably.
Yeah,
Maybe. They might have claimed one. They don't have a real one. How about that?
Well, it's like,
If I get a will actually on the text line, they won one in 1935.
Well, like
it's not counting.
Like
It's not
Grandma
counting.
Mamie's football newsletter. Right?
Something like that. Yeah, exactly. Where it was voted on by the by AP poll voters who only watched maybe 3 different teams throughout the
I
year.
think it was more like Grandma Mamie's Sunday school class.
Voted that Ole Miss was going to win the 1957.
At like Tupelo First Baptist Church or something. Well, we think Ole Miss is the national champion.
They ain't never lost. They just ran out of time.
Y'all call Coach Vault and tell him he won one.
We're going to give him one.
We'll get into more of the national tournament for you.
Boy, blood.
And more thoughts from Coach Kingston. Derek Scott coming up too. Be right back.